Good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing? I think Mike. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Thursday Night with Pineapple. It's your host, Terrence Ramses, aka Mr. Pineapple. I am the host and and creator of Thursday Night with Pineapple, also known as the Royal Blossom Podcast. I'm going to give you a few moments to get on, and we're going to have a great time today. We have some great things to really talk about today in this specific podcast, and we're going to have a great time because we have a phenomenal guest that's on here, and she's going to be bringing some good news and some nuggets about the restaurant industry, community, culture, and everything out here in Tampa Bay. But I'm going to give you a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Jersey, West Indian background of the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. And the mission of the Royal Blossom Company is to restore, build, create, to restore all the wealth and resources that have been lost in our communities, to build up the youth and children that are coming behind us, to create a unique commonwealth of like-minded entrepreneurs to put them back in their God-given purpose and talents. And our brand values is to be fun, spirited, and passionate about everything that you do. Okay? So I'm gonna give you some brand details about. We got some special promotions. With Happy Juneteenth, everybody. 1619th was no, it was a 1619 is when slavery happened, but it was like in the 1800s. Of this when Juneteenth was July, no June, excuse me, June 19th. It was like I think it was like 1865 or 1866. We had got our welcome. Our ancestors had got their freedom, so we were taking this day to give thanks. Also taking this month to acknowledge Caribbean Heritage Month, Men's Mental Health Month, Juneteenth, and I'm excited for what's about to happen on this specific podcast. Um, we're gonna be dropping some nuggets, and all this month we just been bringing people from the West Indies all throughout out this podcast. Um, After next week, this podcast is gonna be taking a month vacation, so you won't see anything until August. But however, you'll be seeing some amazing content clips from everything that we've been doing for the last year and some change right now. We had some phenomenal guests throughout the whole entire year, and then we had some phenomenal guests this month too. So, without further ado, I want to tell you about a few promotions that we got on. Listen to you need to go to the website, okay? If you haven't been to the website or anything, we're gonna go to the website right now. I'm gonna show you the QR code to get to our website. Okay, so www.royalblossomcommunity.co. Go to the website, scan this QR code right here. It's gonna take you to the website. You're gonna see some amazing pre-order deals, some amazing Juneteenth deals, and you're gonna see our amazing tank tops that's on pre-order. Okay, they'll be here in a few weeks. Been getting a few orders this week, but we want to get a few more orders so we can go ahead and get this production done and finished and get it out to you and get to you in a few other things in the community. So without further ado, so let me go ahead and show you one of the videos. I've been showing it every week, and y'all gonna get tired of me showing this video, but I'm gonna show it again. Let me go ahead and put that big
Feeling the heat?
video up.
Why not look just as hot? Fresh, breezy, and built for island life. Our tank tops got you covered, or almost. Grab yours now before they're gone. Limited stock, mad deals. This is your chance to level up your style. Cool looks, hotter prices. Don't wait. Shop now today.
Listen, you don't want to wait. We're going to go to click this link, www.royalblossomcommunity.co. So I'm going to show you a video that I created about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And our tank tops are fresh off the press. This is how good these tank tops are. You're going to see 4 different tank tops, okay? You're going to see the Caribbean-based Rhythm, the Electric Lemonade, the Ocean Blue Oasis Sea, and you're gonna also see the blooming lavender rose, and then you're gonna also see this one tank top that's not included in this thing. I did not get a prototype. It's called the Dragon Culotta. So go ahead and play this one video. You gonna see and look like you want to purchase these things. Yeah, so as you see, those things is coming fresh off the press. It's hot outside. We got an amazing promotion on there. So 3 of those tank tops for $80. I'm taking off $10 off for a special for Caribbean Heritage Month as well. Um, each tank top is going to be $30. Okay, so the electric lemonade you saw the Oasis Blue Sea, the purple one, which was the blooming lavender rose, the electric lemonade, or the pink lemonade is the pink and white. So the lady's gonna have a razorback, and then there's gonna be a Caribbean-based rhythm that's gonna be razorback as well. So that's one of our universal colors across the a whole diaspora. Also, you want to go ahead and get your orders in today. www.royalblossomcommunity.co. And also the sizing for them. You have sizing charts to see which size that will fit your body the best. For women, we have small to 2X, men from medium to 3XL. Okay? So that's that special promotion going to all the way to June 30th of this month. June 30th, 11:59, that promotion ends, and you'll have to buy each tank top at $30, okay? So we have a clearance sale. We have a clearance sale of these tank top dresses, one of our first products that we brought in. Tank top dress is one of the main things that was keeping people hot in 2020. Is one of our older items. So we just decided to put this thing on clearance. Me and my brand ambassadors, if you understand what I'm talking about, me and my brand ambassador help me, promote and sell the product. So this size, now here's the issue with this. The sizing, we only got 2X and 3X. So the last 2 or 3 events, these things have been selling out because they've been at this low price of $5. There's nothing wrong with it. It has a ring in the back. You can use it at the gym. You can run errands in it. You can do all kinds of things. You can use it as a bedtime for bedtime clothes. You can do whatever you want with it. Unisex, as far as from the front to the back, you'll be able to transfer it like that. I have a little bit more pictures, but I decided I ain't want to pick too many pictures up. I ain't want to bore you, but that's $5. We only got a few colors left in it, so go ahead and get your orders in with that. Also, our last but not least, we have the Caribbean bass rhythm. So the Caribbean bass rhythm, okay? So this legendary tee is for Juneteenth month. And also this legendary, the Rasta colors, and these are the colors across the African diaspora. Uh, when this makes you feel warm inside, bubbly inside, make us all united. Reminds you of reggae, maybe dancehall, maybe a little bit of soca, a little bit of Afrobeat. It can just remind you just being on the beach, vibing with your friends and family. So that's one of the main things that it symbolizes. Also bringing the rhythm. Rhythm is the soca songs and the different beats and things that you will bring with you when you wear this tee. Okay, so the special promotional product, and also that's Miss Candy Lowe, Auntie, the community of the Black Business Bus Tour. Shout out to her. So this tee right here, okay, so this tee is going for $15, all sizes, all the way up until June 30th. $15, okay? So you want to go ahead and get your orders in with this. This is $10. www.royalblossomcommunity.co. $10, okay? Sizing is unisex, small to 2XL, okay? So this can fit men and women, okay? So you go ahead and get your orders in today, all right? We only got a limited stock, so I'll be at the Indianola Walmart with Miss Camille. I'll be there from 4 to 8 in Ybor City, 1920 7th Avenue. And that's in Tampa, Florida, 33605. We'll be at that market from 4 to 8. So you can go ahead and get your special promotional t-shirts out there. We'll be there. We'll be there with a few other special promotions as well. It might be a special promotion, an extra special promotion on that tee. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with this live, with this phenomenal guest. I don't know about everybody else. I like to eat good. I like to eat healthy. And I've been plant-based for a while now. I really truly love to eat good food and fellowship amongst food and build culture with food. I believe food is one of the things that can truly bring together not just music, not just family, but food definitely can bring people together because it makes you share something in common. We're sharing something in common that everybody has to eat every day. And there's nothing like fellowshipping over a great meal and having community conversations over a great meal. So I'm going to show you one of her dishes. She got quite a few dishes on here. I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm going to show you this. Mm-mm. Oh, I'm going to show you one more. Oh my God. I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to show you another one. Listen, those dishes, let me tell you something. Those dishes are very nourishing to the body. And food is so important because that is the fuel that gets us from point A to point B. That's the fuel that we need to uh, guide our thinking, our fuel for the day. It makes us think clearly. It can, if you consume the wrong food, it can make you feel irritable, tired. You can have nightmares, all that stuff. So my reason for becoming plant-based, shout out to Coach E Class. She got me right throughout the pandemic. That's when really decided, not because I had health problems, but I just wanted to keep myself even a better lifestyle. So I wanted to try something different, feel better, amazing, skin cleared up, able to grow a beard, just learning the different health benefits of just being plant-based and eating more than just meat and pork and oxtails, because we eat a lot of that stuff in Black America, but we also eat a lot of that stuff in the West Indies as well, and just incorporating different better foods in our diets because the food supply is kind of corrupt here in the United States of America. But it's all good. We got to eat the best way we can, and I just want to encourage everybody to eat the best way you can because you'll get a lot more out of your body and you'll have a longer life expectancy by the food that you eat, the drinks that you drink, and also the way your lifestyle is also a lifestyle change. It's not just something that you just do wham bam and think you can. It's got to be a mentality. It's got to be a habit, and it's got to be consistency over time. It's not hard. It's just switching out the good things, switching out your current lifestyle for new things and new habits. And it's good. It's working well for me, and it's worked well for so many other people that I introduced it to. So, but I'm gonna tell you how I met this young lady. I met this young lady a few years ago at my job, New York Pizza. She used to give out a lot of flyers, um, in the community. She used to have a lot of different vendor events, spoken word, and her shop was across a couple of blocks over. She would do some great things, and we'd just have a lot of talk, at the pizza shop. And I'm just so excited, to have her on because she's done so many great things in the community to bring awareness to just the community and what culture is about and what fellowship is about. And this is what she truly stands for. And I've watched her grow over the years, and she's doing some phenomenal things, man. She's been at multiple events with me this year, and her food truck is doing amazing. So I would like, without further ado, I would like to bring on Miss Nana herself. Let her tell you a little bit about herself. Hello, lady. How are you?
I am doing amazing, thank God.
Absolutely. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your background, and what made you become a chef.
Okay, so my background. I am Dominican, was born in New York, moved to Florida in middle school, been out here. I would say I'm a Floridian now. I've started cooking when I was a little girl. I was about 7 or 8 years old. I loved, I just love being in the kitchen. I loved like eating good food because my mom told me when you were a baby, you would just want your food to be hot. And she said I couldn't give you cereal. Yeah, I had to make you something. So, now, throughout my years of moving to Florida and being able to go to college to study business management, shout out to moving to Miami, which is where I started doing events like selling my food and um, becoming a personal chef. I've always worked in the hospitality food industry. So this is like everything that I feel like every place that I've worked has been like my college for learning how to be in a restaurant and run a restaurant and run a food truck and and do the thing. So
Okay. Okay. How
yeah.
long have you been in Florida, and what made you decide to move to Florida?
So I've been in I didn't get to decide. My parents moved to Florida and I came, I had to come with them. I was a kid. Like I said, I was in middle school, so I was about 13 years old. And I don't know if I was 12 or 13. I was one of the two. Um, but 13 years old, let me see. Yeah, I think it was 13. Anyways, 13 years old, my family moves to Tampa and I'm here from middle school, high school, and then I moved to Miami for college. In Miami, I stay there for about 8 years, and then I come back to like Ocala, Tampa, So I would say that's why I said I would say I'm a Florida native now. You know, I'm a Floridian because I've been here now more than half of my life.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Same here. Same here. Coming from up there and this change in the scenery, and
right?
I just made a decision after, when I graduated in 2007. I just made a decision. I said, y'all can have this. I'm tired of cold weather.
Yeah. I mean,
That ain't for me.
right. It's very different, but I'm grateful because I've met amazing people out here, and I'm still connected to everybody up there. Like my family's still up there, so we got the best of both worlds.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yes.
Now, tell us about these dishes that I just showed. So, can you give us a little bit of explanation on them?
Yes. Okay, so for those who don't know, again, because I don't think I've even introduced myself properly, but my name is Anissa. I go by Nana. I am a plant-based chef. We do everything in house, so we don't use anything processed like Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat, vegan cheese. Um, so every day we do a meal of the day. So we change our special of the day every week and every day. So every you're getting something different. But we still have, everyday items like empanadas, smoothies, sandwiches, wraps. And the menu is still growing. We're still coming up with ideas. But the dishes that you posted on your screen, I believe we had it was a lentil meatloaf with, okay, that one, mac and cheese. So we do a coconut mac and cheese. We did some hush puppies. We always include a salad. We want to make sure that you're not just getting cooked food, you're getting something fresh. Your stomach and your body is happy. It's actually absorbing nutrients faster, you know. But I'm very focused, I would say, my cooking style on using as many vegetables and beans and nuts and, you know, different types of flours and different, like tapioca starch, which is malanga, it comes from a root vegetable, So trying to create meals without using crazy ingredients, or things that just don't have a good effect on your body.
Yeah, I like that because when you making everything from scratch, man, you ain't got but 3, 4 ingredients. We don't need to, company be a paragraph.
Right,
Paragraph.
right, right. No, no.
Mm, okay. So how did you? Okay, so okay, I see that meal looks so delicious and look like a delicacy. Now, my question to you: how did you come up with coconut mac and cheese? How did you come up with that concept?
All right, so I started by making butternut squash cheese sauce.
Okay.
And I would, like, everything comes from trials and tribulations, just testing things. Okay, do I like it? How can I tweak it? You know. And so I noticed that when I would use coconut milk, everything just comes out like more creamier, more fluffier, more, it's just different, sweeter, and my taste buds, the way they work, I needed something that just was like savory, creamy, doesn't, because I don't, oh my gosh, I remember making a mac and cheese with the vegan like shreds, and I also tweaked it because I would added it like making a cheese sauce with it, and I just didn't like the texture, I didn't like the taste, the aftertaste, I didn't like nothing of it. So coming up with this recipe was like, okay, how can I enhance this or just change it, and just I started thinking about things like, when I make soups, like how do I thicken my soups, or when I make sauces, how do I thicken my sauces? So coconut milk was just the perfect answer for mac and cheese for me, versus Plus, we're also using nutritional yeast, which gives it like a cheese flavor, you know. But definitely had to make something that gave you that nostalgic feeling of eating mac and cheese, like creamy, smooth, warming, like just mac and cheese is just something that's cozy, I feel like.
It is. It is. You
Yeah.
know, mac and cheese is something that also we fellowship over, and everybody is just not allowed to make the mac and cheese.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Mm,
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
haven't
so
tried that one. When the next time you making that?
next time I'm making mac and cheese, next week I'm not open. Maybe in July, I'm really trying to um push implement a new menu concept that's going to be more guided towards different organs in the body. So, mac and cheese, I'm trying to keep it light. But if I could, I'm going to think of a bowl how I could incorporate it. So,
Okay,
yep, yep.
got you, got you. So, what would you say? I think you explained what's just some of your ingredients in your mac and cheese. What would you say is the difference between the nutritional value of your mac and cheese or in a classic uh, inner city mac and cheese? I would say.
Okay, so one, I'm not using any dairy. So you're not going to get gas. You're not going to get gassy. You're not going to get bloated.
Oh God.
You're not gonna, sometimes people eat dairy and then they got that like they gotta
Hmm.
swallow, and it's just like you're not gonna get mucusy. Um, it's, I don't know, I feel like inner city mac and cheese versus the mac and cheese that I do, like I said, both comfort foods, but one is healthier for you and one just isn't. And the good thing about the mac and cheese sauce, because it's a sauce that I make, is a sauce. It's all about the sauce. But one thing I feel like about the mac and cheese, it just doesn't have to be for mac and cheese. You know, like it can be used on so many different things. So
Gotcha.
yeah, it's a delicious, nourishing sauce. Coconut milk. You have nutritional yeast that has vitamin B12 and also like gives it a cheese flavor. I put some nutmeg in there, which is also like another herb that I love working with. Um, Put some lemon juice in there. It's it's something special. We're not using anything out of the ordinary to make this sauce. And it's probably like 6 ingredients to make it. So
Thank you.
yeah.
You don't book report. You know, the book
Right.
report. That's a book
No,
report. You ain't
no,
supposed to ingest that.
right. No.
Shh.
And it's consistent. Like I said, you don't have to just put it in mac and cheese. You do have to cook it, so it's not a sauce that is served raw. But there is a way, now that I'm thinking about it, that I think it can it can be made in a raw way if you want to do a raw diet, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
You know,
Makes sense. Now, how long have you been how long have you specifically been plant based? Has it been since you were a little girl, or has it
no,
happened since you was in your adult years?
right. So when I moved to Miami, was going through a transformation, like a spiritual transformation, just like everything was changing around me. And um, this boy that I was dating was like, listen, you should be eating vegan food. Like, this is just how the Aito way. And um, I think from there, I started doing my own research and I said, okay, I think this aligns with my spirit more, you know. And we went from eating meat one day to just cold turkey becoming plant based. So I had to do what my body was telling me to do. I had to listen to my body.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
How have you been feeling since you made that transition,
Well,
transformation?
I feel great. I mean, one, the vegetables that I never liked and the things I never liked, I now love. So my taste buds have completely changed, you know. And I think a lot of people who want to do more research on eating vegan food and just like slowly changing their diet. I think I'm sorry, that insert. I think that one is not for everybody, but two, moderation. Like how can you incorporate more vegetables in your diet? You know, how can you do something and start with the little stuff because it's really eating vegetables. And it's simple, but it's not easy. Easier said than done.
Yeah, yeah. I hear they got us. They tricking people taste buds and stuff like that, and it's like when you eat like a lot of processed food, and when you eat a lot of like McDonald's and Wendy's and
Right.
stuff like that's like out of the boxes on the shelves. Like if you ain't going to like the health food store or Sprouts or Whole Foods and stuff,
Mm,
food is really not that high quality. So you're so used to eating poor food. Now, I wouldn't say poor people food. I would say poor
right.
food.
Right.
Um, the interesting thing about when I had my transition, like I always had an open mind to it. Always
Hmm.
keep eating. I'm like, this is really good. Like, and the funny thing is, like, when you go, like, you try to go back to eating any type of like fast food or anything. I was never a big head on fast food, but like you go back, you start tasting the chemicals, and it start tasting real weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're eating stuff that's processed, and then you go to, like I said, you start changing your diet. You start eating more fresher things. Now your taste buds have adapted to wanting something that just tastes more fresh. You know, because if you really like think about all the stuff that they put into the food, the coloring, the preservatives, you know, just the extra stuff. Like, why is there pork and why do you need pork to make a gummy or something? You know, it's just yeah. I think people people need to see. Okay, is this benefiting me or is this gonna give me some type of disease or you know mess with my energy? I don't know. I think everybody's different, but it's a mindset at the end of the day.
The Narrow Path Network say Nana's best plant-based food in the country.
Definitely, I agree. Thank God. I
Absolutely.
agree. We're pushing health and we're pushing good food.
Oh yeah, yeah, feel better. And the funny thing is, she is telling the truth, audience. And I'm gonna give you a testimony why she's telling the truth. Not because just because her food is good. Like when I say when you go back to eating certain dishes, certain dishes may make you feel, gassy, my indigestion, heartburn. Like for example, like the mac and cheese, collard greens, uh, cabbage, like stuff like that give you a lot of gas because of
Mhm.
the stuff they put in there, especially like the turkey neck bone, pork neck, and all
Mhm.
that stuff. And I told my chef at that time, I told her, listen, you can't give me no cabbage. I said I was eating Big Mama cabbage back in the day. He just gave me too much gas. Only time I really eat cabbage is if I go to like a West Indian restaurant or something.
Right.
Like I eat it from you, Coach, a few other
Mhm.
people. But like if it's just like a family cookout and stuff, you will not see me eat none of the vegetables there because they put too much stuff in there. It
Right.
gives me gas and it's high in sodium too.
Yeah.
What she's saying is true about the gas. Because when I ate her cabbage, I ate a whole bunch. I ate the whole thing, and I ain't had no side effects. It's like taking a pill. It was like side effects when I ate the cabbage and collard greens and stuff. But when I ate it separately, it just tastes so much better. It tastes. Matter of fact, it tastes the same. The difference is the other extra added ingredients.
Hmm.
So that's good stuff.
Well, I always tell people my secret ingredient is cayenne pepper. It's cayenne pepper. Just one is good for gas. Two is good for your blood. It has so many benefits. Three, it helps you with your digestion. So that's a secret ingredient. Put cayenne pepper in everything you cook.
Mm, got you, got you. What would you say is your signature dish that everybody will come to you specifically to purchase? What's your signature gift? Or you got just a few of
I
them?
feel like it's between the empanadas, the wanna beef empanadas, or the bang bang broccoli. I think that
Okay,
yeah, those two have people in like a chokehold.
okay. So
The mac and cheese, like meal wise, like mac and cheese, anytime
okay,
in greens.
oh, okay. She's not lying again. Okay, she's verified. So those chickpea curry empanadas are some of the best empanadas that I've ever had, and good.
Award winning curry chickpea
She
empanada.
said they award winning. She has
Yeah,
certificate of service. She has an award on her wall saying that they so good. Okay, so when next time you go, you open tomorrow.
I'm open tomorrow.
All right, go get some if you want. Go ahead and get you some. I'm telling you, you're not gonna be disappointed. And as far as that broccoli, I personally haven't had it because I'm not a big fan of broccoli, but certain places, certain people I eat it from, I'm gonna try it one of the next time you open. I'm gonna try it because they was at the food truck today when I got me something to eat today. I had me some lunch. They was losing their minds over
Hmm.
that broccoli.
Yeah, yeah, the
I
broccoli.
ain't seen so many
So,
people get excited over some broccoli in a long time.
right. One thing, the broccoli is gluten free, is nut free, is soy free. Only thing it's fried. But who doesn't love something crunchy?
Yeah, the crunch is just
You know,
crunch. The crunch just hit different.
and then the sauce to top it off, we make the bang bang in house, and it's just like a sweet. It's like a sweet chili aioli, some sesame seeds to top it. So it's just so so good.
The
I see
plant.
the question. It says,
Yeah,
how do you incorporate more protein in a vegan diet?
it's a very good question.
Well,
I'm gonna let you answer that one.
so I once read this book. It was called Green Green Light. It's called Green something. I'm gonna remember it, but anyways,
Time.
in this book it spoke specifically about a plant-based diet and how does protein in the body work. And so protein is when a whole bunch of amino acids come together, and that's how your body builds protein from different amino acids that you get from fruits, vegetables, and legumes, beans, seeds, all the things that you eat. And if you really think about it, when people eat meat, they're eating the flesh of this animal. What is the animal eating to build its protein? It's eating grass, right? It's eating plants. So I think people see like, okay, well, I want a vegan diet. Why am I not getting bulk? Well, let me go back to the question. How do you incorporate more protein in the vegan diet? Because eat your vegetables, eat your beans. Um, I think depending on your weight, you have to eat more, you know. And I think it's important to do research on what vegetables, what beans. Like I know chickpea has more protein than lentils would have. You know, work with what you when you do your research and you find out, okay, these beans give me more protein. Maybe if I eat a handful of quinoa, with this vegetable, that's how you incorporate more protein in your diet and also lifting weights. so your body can build some muscle. And then the protein is also building muscle. Now you actually have stronger muscle because it's actually getting protein from something natural versus eating meat and have your body having to break down the protein to get protein
That makes
and
sense.
now get rid of like toxins that it doesn't need from the meat.
Other cultures too,
Yeah, that makes sense.
like other cultures be inspired by like the.
Hmm.
That's kind of what we do.
Right.
So, like,
Yeah, I think with what we do, we take inspiration from just like he said, my boyfriend's here to guide me because
yep.
sometimes we
Yeah, yeah.
can't. But different cultures, like I love Italian food. So my Italian food, I'm like, okay, we have nuts, we have a walnut meat, which walnut has protein. Um, we put some greens on there, we put some salad on there, we put some garlic bread. We make our cashew ricotta. It adds up. But I can't like I wouldn't say for someone like, oh, I'm gonna provide your protein intake for the day. Unless you're buying a few a few things off the truck and smoothies and we're adding pea protein to your smoothie, you know. But there's different ways. Protein via food, protein via powders. Like I said, pea protein. You have hemp seed protein. There's a lot of vegan protein companies. Of course, read the label. But sometimes it's easier to take a shake with some protein powder because you're actually getting more different vitamins and minerals from the other things that they put in there. So,
Okay. Okay. Now, next question is, how do you think your meals have impacted the culture in Tampa?
well, I feel like here in Tampa, I'm like I said, I'm Dominican. So when I get a chance to make Dominican food, it's you can get vegan Dominican food here. I don't think you will find anywhere else in Tampa that you will get vegan Dominican food. I doubt it. And it's actually gonna taste very good and nourish your body and give you energy and not make you bloated. You know, I think what we do here with the ingredients that we use is try to incorporate things, like I said, that are of comfort food, but more on the fresher side. It's not something that is commercial. Like you're not gonna get the same um you're not gonna get the same type of, let's say we do like a pasta. You're not gonna get the same type of pasta. It's always gonna be different. You know, I have not seen other places really take heed on listening to their client. Like they create the menu and that's it. Yeah, we listen to everybody and we incorporate different things that people are gonna enjoy. You know, things that you won't get somewhere else. Like I don't know another place where you get a bang bang broccoli like ours, or walnut beef empanadas, or even our smoothies that we do. We're very much focused on pushing healthy, fresh nourishment in the city and a place where we can bring community together. You know, it's more accessible to us because I think that's important. Like we have other vegan restaurants here that are great. Shout out to them, but it's everybody's in their own space. Like there's vegan bakeries, there's vegan coffee shops, you know. So I think, like I said, with me, I really am focused on being creative. That's why I said doing a new menu, like changing the menu, creating different foods that people probably never had before. Like last week we did a ratatouille. That was amazing. Probably one of my favorite things I've done as of recent, but yeah, I think we're making a little noise over here, especially for the vegan community, where a lot of vegan restaurants are closing down, you know. So
Got you. Speaking of, community and, things just happening and, your brand has been through some changes and things of that's been happening in recent times. So
Mhm.
can you tell us a little bit about your original spot, your brick and mortar that was in Ybor City? What happened to it, and what's going on? What are you doing currently to pivot since the situation happened?
Yes, of course. So, my dad and I went into business in 2021 to open up Nana's Ybor. We were looking for a location. We were initially working to start out in a food truck, and my dad was like, "No, we need to get a spot. Like, I think, right now it's the time. It was during COVID, so everything was just like closed and it was cheaper than what it would normally be. But yeah, so my dad found this location on the corner of 4th and 16th, and it was this super like beat up, run down building. That was, I think it was a studio before, but they were still working on it. So it still had like so much just random stuff everywhere. Anyways, open up the restaurant. Um, as I hold on, let me rewind a second.
Take your time.
This is my first business ever in the sense of like opening up this restaurant, with my family. So everything that we're doing, we're learning as we go. You know, at this point, my dad was on tour, and I was basically just trying to figure out, okay, what licenses do I need? What permits do I need? What do I need to be able to get this building open? And I would go to different restaurants that are open, like different establishments, supporting them and just like picking their brain. And when I got the building, we looked at the tax history, and it was a barbecue restaurant, and it was a catering business, and then it was like a pavement spot, then it was a studio. It was many things. So Um, I spoke to the Ybor Historic because they have their own, like their city of Tampa, and then there's the neighborhood of historic Ybor, El Barrio Latino, that's what they call it, where you have to basically get permission to like paint your building, and it could only be certain colors, and all the things. And so this building did not have a kitchen. So we decided, okay, let's put a food truck in the back, and we'll make the back private because the Barrio Latino, we had a meeting with them, and they're like, oh well, Ybor doesn't allow food trucks. And I'm like, okay, well, this is not a food truck. We're not going to be on the street. We're literally going to put it in the backyard, and it's going to be a detachment of the building to make it a kitchen. And so they gave us the go, no problem. Finally, we get inspected, we pass inspection. So I open up, and everything is going great. Like, you know, very new. So still doing meal of the day. Like, started out doing meal of the day, started out pushing out 4 smoothies, and everything was like word of mouth. So people started hearing about what we were doing there. Things started building up. We start doing events there, markets, like uplifting the community, inviting local artists to come and perform. Just a very enriching space of community. And so, um, basically, what ends up happening is there was an event that we had. The event that we had caused the neighbors to call the law enforcement on us. We had like all different like code enforcement, alcohol and tobacco, police, um, coming to the building like, oh, you can't have this event here. There's this, there's that. Mind you, what they were complaining about was alcohol, but they had a permit to sell alcohol. But because we weren't wet zoned, they made it a big deal. Like, oh, well, no, you have to get rid of it, whatever. The next week, we have a note on the window saying stop work order, basically stating, oh, your building is a commercial office. This is not a commercial restaurant. So you can no longer operate out this building. Like what you have to do is now you have to go and do a change of use for the building, and until you do that, like you can't operate out of here. So in order to do a change of use, you have to get a floor plan done with an exit with an life safety plan, and they want you to now take out permits to change to do like other stuff because we had a stage in the back. And then they're like, oh, and on top of that, you have to do a change of use, which is 6 months. If the process alone takes 6 months, and you have to give them this paperwork, and then they got to review it, which takes about 2 weeks to come back to you. And then if you need to fix something, they send it back, and it's just like an ongoing back and forth thing. So when that happened, yeah, it was just like, okay, what do we do from here? But the funny part is the following day that they did that to us, they approved for the Ybor Harbor that they're going to be doing, which is high rises in Ybor. And also, I remember that month, for some reason, the code, because when people complain to the city, you should be able to see it. Everything was locked because I had a friend who worked for Creative Loathing, or an acquaintance, this girl I know. She worked for the newspaper. And she was saying, like, oh, we try to, look it up and you can't see anything. Like, everything is private, which is like illegal, you know? And it was just very like sudden because we had a good thing going there. We had a lot of people from out of town coming. We were bringing fresh food to Ybor, smoothies, having markets. Like, we were doing something good, and then within a day, it just completely shut down. And we had a lot of attention from different media outlets like ABC, Fox, all the things like, hey, we want to know what's happening with your space. Like, does it have something to do with the city of Ybor and Tampa? And like, what are they doing? And basically, because they kind of had a they kind of had some right in the sense of the building was a commercial office, but you guys waited almost 2 years to give me this closure, and this stop work order. So it just goes to show you how politics work in the city. And some people don't like where you are because of your demographic of people, and just what we're doing. We're having events there. We're bringing community together. Oh no, this is Ybor. We don't want that. We need something a little bit more calmer, and more fitting for us. So it's okay. You live and you learn. We now people know about us. Thanks to the location.
I'm just trying to understand how do you operate and growing your business for that period of time, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden they change their mind. Like that would be something they would have told you up front.
Right. Yep.
So y'all technically, so really, you really didn't have a problem with it. So what you was basically seeing what it was gonna be, and y'all wanted to stomp and shut it down while it was still in the beginning stages. Because a lot
Right.
of times, what people do, they'll dim your light or they'll try to squash you while you in your early stage. Because sometimes people won't support you, buy anything from you, or just be around you because they see the greatness upon your life. They see
Mhm.
your life, and people just don't like that, and it makes them
Mhm.
easy. And whichever people that you were dealing with felt that way about your business.
Right.
So it's
Yeah. I
so how
mean,
Okay, go ahead.
Like I said, it's a learning lesson. You know, you look at a space, you create these beautiful things, you learn how to run a restaurant, you learn how to run a business, you know, a little bit deeper now. Now you have experience with, like I said, we had this restaurant open almost 2 years. So doing that plus working at other food places, like I said, my first job was Dunkin' Donuts. I worked in a fine dining restaurant. I was a personal chef. I worked at a mom and pop restaurant. Everything has just been learning just different. Like, okay, this is how you do inventory. This is how you do stock. This is how you do your prep for your food. This is how you do your customer service. Then with that space, now this is how you see how operating a brick and mortar works and what you need. And now we're in a food truck, which is also like really cool too because now I know how to operate a food truck. Although I can't, I drove it for the first time today,
Yeah.
but normally it's my boyfriend doing all the driving and the parking, which he had to
Right.
park today.
Yes. Now, when you got the news, how did you pivot since from that situation? What made?
Okay, so got the news and I was like, okay, well, first let me like regroup because what is happening? Um, So I just started thinking of different ways. Like, okay, do I need to do like Uber? Do I need to do DoorDash and just get a ghost kitchen? You know, and see if I can operate out of there. Do I like do a pop up tent? Or I didn't know what to do. But I started reaching out to a whole bunch of other vegan restaurants. And they started reaching out to me like, hey, if you want to do a pop up at our like location, like please feel free. Like we're willing to like help you and uplift you, especially in this time. And so we ended up doing a few pop ups around different restaurants, Wine Vegan, We Vegan Cafe. Um, the lot that I'm at right now, we actually were popping up there for like a week just to see, like, okay, what can we do? And then it was very hard because we go from the scale of a brick and mortar to now having to do a pop up for one day, so you don't know how many sales you're going to do. So you have to be very wise with how you're spending money because during that time, we still had to pay for the rent and the water and the electricity and taxes for the property, whatever, while we're figuring out what we're going to do. Eventually, it just wasn't working for me. I couldn't manage having to try to uplift this restaurant that is going to take forever to really like do. And I knew it was. And I had insight from other people telling me like, listen, they're not going to let you open. Like they're not going to let you open. The city right now, they're just doing so much stuff and they're not going to let you open. Like they're going to make you, even if you do a change of use, it's going to be a mission. And so from there I said, okay, well, now I have to think about what's best for myself, my kid, my family. And what was best for me was to basically dissolve my partnership with my dad to become my own entity, and scale down. Because now I can no longer like try to open up a business that just isn't going to work here in this space, if that makes any sense. So basically became a personal chef and was making enough to get myself by and like, okay, still figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. And then my boyfriend was like, why don't we get a food truck? And so he bought me a food truck in August. Well, I lied. When did you get it? In June?
The end of July,
The end of
and
July.
we're cleaning it
Oh my
until
God.
yeah,
Yeah.
cleaning it until August. Yeah.
So he found a good deal on a food truck, and it took a month to just make it how we wanted to make it. Like,
Right,
in the
right.
sense of, taking everything down, just
Replacing
like,
equipment.
right,
You know.
replacing equipment, putting different things, like,
And
how are we going to operate? What's going to be the flow of the
yeah.
space? Even last week he just installed, I had a two burner and I had two fryers. I wasn't using one of the fryers, so it's just taking space. So took out the two burner and the fryer and put a four burner. So now I'm able to create more food in a more quicker, timely manner. So
Yeah,
it's helped a lot.
you need to be very creative in that
Yeah,
box.
yeah. But we pivoted. We went. Now we had to scale down, so we can come up with new ideas and really just have like full control of this nanas. This like umbrella. So,
Yeah.
but
Got
shout out to my dad. He opened up his own food truck. He does authentic Dominican food. He's downtown, so everything worked out how it should.
What's the name of
And
this food truck?
it's called La Casita Dominicana.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and which they get to create their food. My dad loves food, but he's not vegan. So, now he can do what he likes to do and his girlfriend likes to do. Still serving authentic Dominican food, and it's really good food. Like they make rice and beans. Most of their, I wouldn't say most, it's Dominican food, so it's not vegan. But rice is vegan, beans are vegan, plantains are vegan, so you can
Gotcha.
still eat
Gotcha. That
something
makes
good. Yeah.
gotcha. She said she
Right.
had in the grand. Okay.
Yes, we do. Listen, Nana's brand is coming soon. We have it. We're just, working on different things. Different, like, you have your shirts. Working on different shirts, different designs for bandanas, for tote bags. Just trying to push it. Trying to push it. We're gonna start doing our spices soon. Like hopefully Whole Foods wants to buy wholesale empanadas. Our green sauce. Like there's so many different avenues of how we want to go with this business. So I'm very
Okay.
excited.
Have you done any catering orders?
Oh yes, we do catering orders all the time. We just had a catering order last week, I believe, for an office. We did a catering order like a week before that for graduation. And then we had a catering order probably like 2 weeks before that for a wedding. So we are caterers. We love to cater. It also allows me to like come up with different menus depending on the event. Um, yeah. So yes, we do catering. We do our meal of the day. We do events. You know, jack of all trades.
Okay. Okay. My last question is, what's the vision for your food truck for the next year? What's the vision?
For the next year, well, I mean, the vision for the next year is, of course, to grow. Like, we're still debating if we're staying here, or if we're going north. Like, my boyfriend, he has his career as well. So, we just want to see, okay, what's best for the future, especially with everything in the world happening. Regardless, Nanas is still going to be creating. Like, if we stay here, the vision is
Restaurant.
right.
Yeah.
Look for a brick and mortar, even if it's like a small little intimate spot, but still push out good food. Continue doing events. You know, um, continue doing caterings. Continue doing different things. If we go up north, might become a content creator. Like, I might just do pop ups over there, markets. I still, because I'll have more time to enjoy motherhood. and that's why I'm saying content creator for food. Like we're pushing out recipes, we're pushing out cookbooks, we're still pushing out food, you know, now just on a different scale. So,
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Really don't have too many more questions to you. Well, tell the people how to find you, where you're located, your hours of operation, and your social media.
you can find us right now, currently at the Food Truck Culture Lot. We're there Wednesday through Saturday. You can find us around the city doing events. You can find us on social media. Instagram is nanas, nanas dot rooted. Our Facebook is nanas rooted. We're on TikTok, nanas rooted. So yeah, come see us in person. We love greeting people with warm energy and smiles. And we love seeing reactions of people when they actually do try our food. We're also on Uber and DoorDash. So if you're not available to come because you're at work or you just don't want to leave your house, you can still get nourishment through those sites. So yes, we're also featured in um, my mentor's cookbook. It's called Rooted. It's by Liani Powers. I have two recipes on there. So, yes. And keep up with us on social media because we're going to be posting so much interesting things. Like I said, recipes, our merch, different food, you know. But I appreciate you for having us on this amazing podcast and live stream.
Absolutely.
I'm super excited to continue doing more. You broke my live stream first time ever.
Listen, you ain't the only one out there. Look, you just came in here calm.
In the
Some
sense of like YouTube, we go
Yeah,
on live, but podcasts, never been on a podcast. I've been wanting to get on a podcast. So thank you.
yeah, no problem. It's funny. I'm always having that issue with the ladies. They always like, man, I don't know. I'm a little shy, but when they finally do break through it, man, their content just go through the roof. They just start
Yes,
getting more creative. They start
yes,
to post their reels more. Their stuff on TikTok, their TikTok
right.
live, Instagram. They posted more content. They feeling more comfortable. That's one of the purposes and functions of this specific podcast. To also get the information out there, but to bring you out of your comfort zone as well. To make so you'll
Mhm.
be able to branch off and do your own content as well, and
Right, right,
break that uncomfortability
right,
barrier to where like I can go out. It's not that hard. I could just pop my phone here, pop my tablet here,
right,
start talking to the people, and the people want to see you and they want to listen to what you have to say.
right. Want
Uh,
to
they
engage?
want
Yeah,
to they want to hear what your testimony, your over the stuff that you had to overcome with
yeah.
your restaurant over there in Ybor City, and you can definitely share some light and share some awareness, and also you bring the people together. Your food does, like I said, it bring in the beginning of the podcast. Food brings people together because
Yeah.
everybody there has something in common. They're eating,
Yeah.
and it actually can bring up topics. It can bring up community issues, and sometimes solutions to your problems can be over a meal.
Mhm. Right. Not only that, but you're getting good energy with this food. We
She
are
ain't lying.
laughing, we are enjoying, we are vibing, we are dancing, we are rapping, we are doing the things while we are creating these nourishments. So
Yeah, she ain't making that with no sadness. You can taste
right,
people energies and stuff. I'm
right,
serious. That's real. You could
yeah,
taste people energies and food. You can tell when
right.
somebody
Why the food ain't go down my stomach the right way? Oh,
tell when
don't
somebody
know.
made it grudgingly and they made it with some emphasis of love, and so you can tell the difference.
Yep, yep. So keep, pushing good food, good energy, good vibes, nourishment, and always mind, body, soul. It's real soul food over here. And
Got
soulful. Soulful, soulful. Same.
Okay. Where you gonna be at tomorrow?
Food truck culture lot. We'll be there from 12 to 4, and I think we're making pita pockets and hummus and tomato cucumber mint salad and a fresh salad and some crunchy, crispy, seasoned chickpeas. So those who want protein in the vegan diet, this meal is for you.
Gotcha.
Yep.
You, ha- you have any closing remarks for the audience before we head up out of here?
Everything is mind over matter. You know, what we go through is always for a lesson, and sometimes it's a blessing. It's always a blessing. We give thanks to God over here for everything that we have and everything that we're able to do, especially for community. I'm so grateful for community, for supporting me, for loving me, for showing up. Like today, having people come for my food, and just all the time, like people really pull up on me, and I'm just very grateful for my community. So,
Great. We gonna continue to support you, and go find her on IG, social media. She'll let you know where she's popping up. She's at various events. She's definitely on 7th Avenue and Broadway. She gonna hook you up. You know what I'm saying?
4914 East Broadway Avenue, Tampa, Florida, 3360, either 3 or 5.
It's fine.
One or two. 5, okay, 33605. Yep.
Yep. So she cooking. So she gonna
Yeah.
do. She gonna take care of you. Tell her I sent you. She gonna get. Look. She
Hey,
gonna make that
listen,
work.
if they say pineapple sent me, they get 10% off.
Mhm.
Boom.
Oh, did it? Hold on. Let me take the microphone off. Say it again.
I said, if they say pineapple sent me, they get 10% off.
All right, audience, you heard them. So if you mention my name, they are gonna give you 10% off your entire order, and they're
Yeah.
gonna. She mean it too.
Yep. Yep. And we have loyalty cards.
Mhm.
So if you're a loyal customer of ours, every time you come and you get something over $15 value, which is like a smoothie and empanada, you're gonna get a stamp. And when you get this, you are gonna either get a free smoothie or a free empanada, whatever you want. But
Oh,
you know,
you got man. Wait a minute. When how long you been doing Home for Loyalty? I
we,
didn't
we
get
just
one.
we
It's
just
just started.
Hold on, man. Wait a minute. I didn't get one. I was there today. I didn't get one of those. I want one of those. What?
Listen, I know if Kiana took your order, she probably would have offered you one. So it's probably either me,
No, dude.
but my boyfriend's like, leave them outside. My thing is the wind blows. They blow them.
Yeah.
And I'm forgetting because I'm doing 10 other things. But, you
I
know,
gotta get me one. You owe me a
I
card.
oh, I got you. I got you. I got
Oh, that's key information. Like I'm just spending
you.
money. I didn't know you had a rewards program.
Yeah. They just came in last week, and the crazy part is we ordered them like 4 months ago. We ordered, listen, we ordered it, and we still haven't received it. So he had to order another batch,
Yeah,
and it just got here.
Really got them in April.
Yeah.
But
Oh, he got them
they
in
came from
April,
China though.
but they came from China.
So
So they got
tariffs.
lost at sea
Yeah, the tariffs and
at
all
this
that.
point. You know.
So
Your best friend says she love you.
I know. I love you too, Kiana. Yeah, she said I tried to give you one, but I misplaced the cards. She actually did say that when we got back from the event. She was like, "Oh my God, I've been looking for these cards the whole time," and it was yeah. But
Okay.
Kiana would remember, and we'll get you right next time you come. So Kiana, remember his face, all right? When they say pineapple, they get 10% off.
Yep. Yep. We're gonna do a special promotion too. I gotta cook up something.
Yeah.
I ain't think about it, but yeah, that's a good promotion.
Yep. Yep. So tap into the podcast. hear out the keyword. Keyword is pineapple. If you're not paying attention to the podcast and you don't hear the keyword, you're not getting 10% off. And it's simple. Watch your podcast. Pineapple.
Yep.
Yep.
Simple. And
Yep.
not pineapple and ginger. It needs to be like pineapple chutney.
Oh Lord. Absolutely. So thank you. Now I appreciate you coming on. As everybody follow us, like, share, and subscribe to the Royal Blossom Company at Thursday Night with Pineapple. You'll find us on all social media platforms: YouTube, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. Um, as the brand is, the Royal Blossom Company is the headquarters of our brand, and Thursday Night with Pineapple is the podcast, or the Royal Blossom Podcast. I have a unique quote that I always close on, and I used to be on my paper business cards, but I don't went digital on y'all. I
Okay,
still got
okay.
that. I still got
Save
the
the
quote on
planet.
there.
Yeah,
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
we want to.
yeah. So once you discover how unique you are, you begin to change the world around you.
Mm. Yes, absolutely. It only takes one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, that's it. Just be the change that you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and do the things to make the world better.
Absolutely. She
Even
said,
if that's just planting a flower.
yeah. Kiki said she got it. So yeah, absolutely. Until next week, 7:30, we're gonna have one more phenomenal guest, West Indian style, as always. Listen. Next week gonna be the last week until August until you see me. So you're gonna be seeing clips throughout July, like every day, a few times a day, from this podcast, a few other podcasts. Just taking a vacation, just taking a summer vacation because we've been doing this for a year and 2 or 3 months now. So consistency with no breaks. So
Congratulations.
I appreciate you. So we're gonna take a long break and relax, kick our feet up.
Yes, as you should. You know,
Absolutely. Self care. Self care.
yep,
Until next week at
disconnect.
7:30, we'll see you later.